Mingala Kaledo, Ako Tichero, Unit 1 Language Listening and You Salai now, no? But a Tichero language go packet with Wabi, out of the middle mummy melu letene, Keku Tichero, Unit 1 Language Sign Listening and You look Chilaya, no? Okay, here number A. Complete each sentence below with a word or phrase from the reading passage. Una taro the middle, she a packet language with it best sabai te anima. သူ့ရဲ့အဖြစ်မှန်လေးတွေ quality တွေမှာဖြစ်ကြည့်ရအောင်နော် Number 1 the four language skills are Number 2 the first language skill to develop is Number 3 a baby begins to speak at the age of Okay number 1 ကိုတချို့ကြည့်အောင် the four language skills are ပါတယ်လေတချို့ language skill ၄မျိုးရှိတယ်အဲ့ဒါလေးက listening speaking reading and writing No. Number 2, the first language skill to develop is ကဲတကယ်တော့ language ကိုအနေနဲ့ဘာကိုပထမဆုံးနားထောင်ရလဲ Yes, listening. Okay, no? So the first language skill to develop is listening. Number 3, a baby begins to speak at the age of ကလေးလေးရဲ့ baby မှာစပြီးစကားပြောတယ် 1.5 years. Number 4, listening and blank work together as a pair of skill. Listening and banetwele work together as a pair of skill. Listening and speaking work together as a pair of skill. The other pair of skill includes none of you about reading and writing. Okay, very good. Number 6, speaking and writing a blank skill. Speaking and writing are protective skill. Yes. Number 7, language is also known as a tools of communication. Tools. Number 8, the two forms of communication are your forms vowel and non-vowel. Number 9, we use blank when we speak to help the listener understand better. Okay, so we use gesture when we speak to understand the listener understand better. We use blank when we write to help the reader understand better. So that one is we use graphics. Yes, very good. Now let's carry on to our another one. Give a short answer to each question below. Number 1, when does a child begin to read and write? Okay, when that a child began to read and write at the age of 4 or 5, or they go to school. Number 2, what are the protective skill of language? Protective. ထုတ်လုပ်မှုအပိုင်းမှာပါတယ်ဘာသာစကားရဲ့အရေးသွေးတွေပဲဟာလေ Speaking and writing. Very good. The protective skills of language are speaking and writing. Okay, very good. Number 3, what are the receptive skills of language? The receptive skills of language are listening and reading. Why do we use gesture when we speak? စကားပြောတဲ့ခါမှာကိုယ်မူရတဲ့ကိုယ်တွေဘာလို့လှုပ်တာလဲ We use gesture when we speak to help the listener better understand us. How do we help the reader understand when we write better? So we help the reader understand what we write better by using graphics. Okay. Number 6, what are the two forms of communication? The two forms of communication are vowels and non-vowels. Number 7, do you want to learn any other foreign languages apart from English? Why? Get English Yes, boo. I do. Why? I want to learn any other foreign language apart from English because I want to communicate more people. You know, စကားများများပိုသိတယ်ဘာသာစကားများပိုသိတယ်တချို့လူတွေအများကြီးနဲ့ပိုပြီးဆက်ဆံပြောဆိုလို့ရတယ်။ဥပမာဂျပန်စာသိတယ်ဂျပန်ကိုသွားပြီးတဲ့စကားပြောလို့ရတယ်။အင်္ဂလိပ်နဲ့မြန်မာပဲသိရဆိုရင်နော်အင်္ဂလိပ်နဲ့မြန်မာနဲ့သိရတဲ့လူတွေတချို့စကားပြောလို့ရမှာပေါ့။နောက်ထပ်ပိုသိလေတချို့လူတွေအများကြီးနဲ့ပိုပြီးတော့မှပြောဆိုဆက်ဆံလုပ်ကိုင်လို့ရတယ်နော်။ Number 8. What language skill is the most difficult for you to learn? Why? ဘာသာစကားကိုသင်တဲ့အခါမှာဘယ်ဟာပိုပြီးခက်ခဲတယ်လဲတဲ့ Why ဘာကြောင့်လဲဒီချက်အတွက်ဆိုဒီချက်ပြောပြမယ်အင်္ဂလိပ်စကားမှာ listening ကတော်တော်ခက်တယ်ဘာကြောင့်လဲဆိုတခါလေကြားလို့ရှိရင် British ပြောတဲ့တန်နဲ့ Australian ပြောတဲ့တန်နဲ့မတူ American ပြောတာတမျိုးပြီးသူတို့ကသူတို့ဘာသာစကားသူတို့ပြောတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်သူတို့ပုံစံတိုင်းသွားလို့ရှိရင်ဒီချက်တို့နားထောင်နေကြမဟုတ်အရင်ခက်တယ် speaking ကြတော့ကိုနားလေသူပြန်ပြောရတယ်reading ကြတော့ဒီချက်တို့တိုင်းဖတ်ရတာပြီး writing ကြတော့ကိုနားလေရလေးခြိုက်ရသူကအချိန်ရတယ် speaking listening ကြတော့သူတို့ဘသူ့ပြောရတယ်ဟာဒီချက်တို့နောက်ကလာလိုက်နားထောင်ခြင်းမရှိရင်တော်တော်လေးကိုခက်တယ် so which language skill is the most difficult for you to learn but teacher wants to say that listening skill because sometimes it is difficult to catch up with what they said and it's also sometimes people are quite different from one person to another their speaking style the way they talk sometimes when they speak very fast it is difficult to understand and cannot catch up with what they have said yeah? So for teacher is listening but ကလေးတွေကြတော့မျိုးမျိုးဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ဟုတ်ပြီနော် Okay next one See, write the function of each utterance within the bracket given. The first one is done for you as an example. Okay, ဒီမှာကြည့်အောင်တခြားတို့ Hello, good morning. အဲ့ဆိုတခြားတို့ဘယ်နေရာမှာတောင်းတာလဲ Greeting နောက်ဆက်တာ Number 2, May I use the phone please? ဖုန်းလေးသုံးခွင့်ပေးပါလားဆိုပါလေဒါခွင့်တောင်းတာ So asking permission. Number 3, It's very kind of you to help me. Oh no. နေဘလောက်တော့ကျင်နာလိုက်တဲ့လူတွေငါ့ကိုကူညီပေးတာတဲ့ဆို So that is saying thank you and then expressing gratitude. Could you please scan the photo for me? So this is asking for help. I'm sorry I'm late. So expressing regret and apologize. Go along this street and turn right. This is instruction. It's my pleasure. So expressing gratitude and thanks. How's your grandmother? You just ask for information. So asking information. I don't quite agree with what you said. This is agree or disagree. Make 3 copies of this article. So that is giving instruction. Now, not good here. Oh, look at this. That table in the table here. Country, nationality, language, and adjectives. Okay, there countries what a do, nationality what do language or pataska, adjectives what the lumio go kind of don't know adjectives. Okay, now Australia is a country name Australia through a nangadan, benangadan is showing Australian. Language got through English language tone, adjectives through Australian lumio. Okay, now China sorry, nationality Chinese tayo lumio. Batasaka Chinese through adjectives in Chinese people. Next one, French. Nationality, sorry, they are French. The language is French and adjective is French. Germany, sorry, German. Italy, Italian. For the languages, they use Italian language. Adjectives is Italian people. For the Japan, nationality is Japan. They are Japan. Language is Japanese. Adjective is Japanese. For the Korea is Korean. Laos. For the Myanmar Myanmar. Language is Myanmar. Adjective is also Myanmar people. The UK is nationality is British. Language is English. Adjectives is British. For USA, so in American, they use English and they are American. Vietnam, Vietnamese, they use the Vietnamese language and the adjectives of Vietnamese. Okay, now the shadow dali piwa kajaro. Our number P, we write each sentence below, filling the blanks with appropriate words from the table in exercise A. Now exercise A ma pyo ke de sakalong ni the shadow phiti yao. Number A, because I speak blank fluently, I did not have much trouble in France. သူအဲ့ဒီစကားပြောတတ်တဲ့ခါကျတော့ပြင်သစ်ကိုသွားတဲ့ခါမှာတိတ်အခက်အခဲမရှိဘူးဆိုတော့ what is that? French. Before I speak French fluently, I did not have much trouble in France. Those tourists are from Italy and they speak only Italian, so that they only speak Italian and do not understand a word of English. I wish to visit Vietnam, but I do not speak a word of Vietnamese. Okay, not Vietnam. Since we speak English quite well, we should have no problem studying in the USA. မစင်ကိုချေရောကအင်္ဂလိပ်စကားကောင်းကောင်းပြောတတ်တဲ့ခါကျတော့အမေရိကသွားရင်နော်အမေရိကမှာစာသားသင်ရင်သိပြဿနာမရှိတော့ဘူးတဲ့ I plan to work in Korea, so I'm learning Korean at the Yangon University of Foreign Languages. You know, learning Korean. A kimono is a traditional Japanese garment. Japanရဲ့ဂျိုးရအဝတ်အထည်ဖြစ်တယ်တဲ့ kimono နော် William Shakespeare is a very widely known English playwright and poet. William Shakespeare, a very widely known British playwright and poet. No, not English, British. I have never been to Laos and I have never tried Laos food. You know, he grew up in Germany and he speaks German fluently. I like Chinese food, though I don't know how to use the chopstick. Chinese food, okay, now let's see another one. The grammar. Now in apposition. In English, two nouns are often used together, one following to the other. The second nouns tell us something about the first noun. Such two nouns are called noun in apposition. For example, Tokyo, the capital of Japan. Tokyo ကဘာမြို့လဲ Japan ရဲ့မြို့တော် Ubaji, the great Myanmar artist. Ubaji ကဘာတူလဲ the great Myanmar artist. ဟုတ်ပြီနော်ကျေတို့နောက်လက်ကျင်ကနေကြည့်အောင် Spot the nouns in apposition in the following sentences and underline them. There are many pagodas in Bagan, an ancient capital of Myanmar. Bagan မှာဖရားတွေအများကြီးရှိတယ်တဲ့ဟုတ်ပြီနော်ကျေတို့ underline လုပ်ပြရမယ်ဆိုတော့ here Bagan an ancient capital of Myanmar. Okay, now here an ancient capital of Myanmar. Okay, now here next one. And the ostrich, a kind of flightless bird, is found in Africa. You know, ostrich ka balo kaung le de. The kind of flightless bird, ma pian naing de kaung le.ဟုတ်နော်အဲ့တော့ Here, the ostrich, a kind of flightless bird. Number 2, my son, a musician, earns little and lives with me. So, the noun the position, my son, a musician. Loch Ness, a large mountain lake, is in Scotland. To appear, Loch Ness, a large mountain lake. Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, is in Nepal. The noun in the position is Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world. I like to climb Kilimanjaro, the highest mountains of Tanzania. Kilimanjaro, the highest mountains in Tanzania. Brussels sprout, a green vegetable like a tiny cabbage, is quite delicious to eat. Brussels sprout, Brussels sprout, a green vegetable like a tiny cabbage. The Nile, the longest river in the world, is northeastern Africa. Nile ka baloမျိုးလဲ The Nile, the longest river in the world. ကမ္ဘာအရှည်ဆုံးမြစ် Judo, a Japanese martial art, originated from jiu-jitsu, a samurai and armed fighting technique. ဒီမှာဆိုရင် Judo, a Japanese martial art. Next one. Albert Einstein, the great physicist, was famous for his theory of relativity. ဒီမှာဆိုရင် noun in the position Albert Einstein, the greatest physicist. You know? Next one, combine the two sentences using nouns and apposition. Number one, Myanmar is the second largest country in South Asia. It is known as the land of pagoda. Myanmar. And then it ka le badu ko pyo le Myanmar. Myanmar, known as the land of pagoda, is the second largest country in Southeast Asia. Number two, Uttondon is our English teacher. He is very strict person. So Uttondon are English, yeah. He is very strict person. So the here Uttondon ပြောတာအဲ့တော့ဒီ chair noun နဲ့ position ကဘယ်လိုဆက်မလဲဆိုရင် Uttondon, a very strict person, is our English teacher. Won many prizes. He is the best footballer in our school. So must be the best footballer in our school. So the best footballer in our school won many prizes. An excuse may or may not be true. It is a reason for an apology. So an excuse, it isn't. So an excuse, a reason for an apology, may or may not be true. Jack was born in Finland. Finland is the land of thousand lakes. Okay. You might have Finland a land of thousand lakes. So Jack was born in Finland, the land of thousand lakes. Elvis Presley was a very popular singer. He was referred to as the king of rock and roll. So Elvis Presley, referred to as the king of rock and roll, was a very popular singer. We will spend our vacation at Napoli Beach. It is the most beautiful beach in our country. We will spend our vacation at Napoli Beach, the most beautiful beach in our country. William Henry Gates was born in Washington. He is the principal founder of Microsoft. William Henry Gates was born in Washington. So here, Henry Gates and he. William Henry Gates, the principal founder of Microsoft, was born in Washington. I like spaghetti. It is Italian dish with noodles and sauce. So I like spaghetti, Italian dish with noodle and sauce. My childhood home is just down the road. It is an old wooden house. So my childhood home, an old wooden house, is just down the road. Now let's look at our another one. To in pairs, interview your partner. Using the following questions about the foreign language you are now learning. The foreign language. Number one, are you learning a foreign language? What is it? Hey, Number two, when did you start learning it? Number three, what difficulties do you have in learning it? Number four, how do you study the language outside school? Or Number five, how do you greet each other in that language? What words or phrase would you use to express thanks? What other foreign languages would you like to learn? Why? နောက်ထပ်နိုင်ငံခြားဘာသာစကားပဲဟာများသင်ကျင်သေးလဲဘာလို့သင်ကျင်တာလဲအဲ့ဒါလေးတွေကိုတကယ်ချင်းနဲ့အချင်းချင်းမေးပြီးဖြေကြမယ်နော် Here next one, tell the class about the foreign languages your friend is learning. အခုနမေးခွန်းလေးတွေဒီချက်တော့မေးပြီးတော့အဲ့မေးခွန်းလေးတွေပြန်စုပြပါအတန်းတွေကတခြားတငယ်ချင်းတွေသိသွားအောင်အဲ့ဒါလေးကိုပြန်ပြောပြပေးမယ်တဲ့ Next one, number 1, writing. Use the points suggested below and write a short paragraph of 7 to 10 sentences on Japan. Japan အကြောင်းလေးကိုကျွန်တော်နည်းနည်းရေးကြည့်မယ် Japan ဘာလဲ an island nation or ကျွန်းနိုင်ငံလေး in the North Pacific Ocean or North Pacific Ocean မှာရှိတယ် off the coast of the Asian continent ဆိုတာကျွန်တော် Asian continent ရဲ့ဟိုဘက်ကမ်းလွန်ဘက်မှာရှိတယ် people language ဘယ်လိုမျိုးနေလဲ language ဘာသာစကားတွေသုံးတယ် a very advanced country အရန်ကိုဖွံ့ဖြိုးတိုးတက်တဲ့နိုင်ငံဖြစ်နေတယ် manufacturers and exports သူတို့ဘာတွေထုတ်လုပ်ပြီးဘာတွေပို့လဲ cars cameras televisions and etc သူတို့တစ်ကမ္ဘာလုံးသူတို့အဲ့ဒါလေးပို့တယ်ဟုတ်ပြီเนาะအဲ့ဒီအချက်ကလေးတွေအသုံးပြုပြီးတော့မှဂျပန်နိုင်ငံအကြောင်းကို9ကျောင်းကနေ10ကျောင်းလောက်ထိရေးပေးရမယ်เนาะ Okay, those are the exercise for the language. Okay, bye-bye.